What's going on, everybody? Thanks for hanging out super early on this. What is it? A Wednesday? I'm starting to try to figure out what the cadence of live streams on this channel will be. Still not exactly certain, but I do see M4 Sherman. You've been here for a long time, so people that I know that have been around for a while, I'm just making you guys mods. You don't have to do anything to earn it. Just I'm glad you're hanging out over here. Yeah, what's up, Uganda hater? I'm glad that you're here. I forget where you're located, but it's we're not certain how we're gonna do live streams on this channel. I actually was watching I'm a fan of Asmongold. I like that he covers a channel. I saw on his I didn't read the thread, but on Reddit someone said that I had beef with him, and I was like, dude, what the heck? Where did they get that from? But it's kind of funny. Okay, so Uganda, California, you're from here. Can't get rid of you. You're like that. I mean, I guess I gotta ban you because I don't want the rumor that I have this, right? Like, that's not good. But yeah, we love Asmongold, but I was watching a bit of his stream, and I was like, how does he go for like 8 hours a day all the time, and how can I do it? Because honestly, if I live stream for like 1 or 2 hours for the next 6, I'm just like a zombie. I don't even want to go through like Wendy's or McDonald's and talk to the drive-through person. I'm just kind of, I'm done for the day. Well, I usually live stream late at night, so how does he do it? And then I was watching his live stream, and I'm like, no, he's at the pace that I'm at, talking back to the chat super fast, and I'm like, I don't understand how these people do it. Like, even right now, I'm getting like that whole like that whole like stress neck from talking so much. So yeah, you guys are talking about the stocks of the moon right now, so maybe we just want to make these live streams. Like, I have this video queued up. Wait, this video queued up right now. I want to talk about that, but if the chat wants to talk about the stocks right now, I have a little bit of a story pulled up about that. So maybe, just like DS says, like, what's on the tube today, maybe you guys just recommend YouTube videos and we talk about them, and then we just kind of like stuff I haven't seen before. Maybe not stuff that's on Twitter that may be like beheadings or something, but maybe things that are already on YouTube that we know are YouTube safe and I can watch those videos. I don't know. Cass says you're there for the ASMR. Is this ASMR? Like, do I need to put the mic way up close to my face and just kind of do that that NPR voice? Maybe I can talk very, very softly. I honestly feel like if this channel is to be called Decaf Decoy, maybe this should be stuff you can watch later in the evening, and that'll keep my blood pressure down, and I can get off all the medications or whatever. Nah, it's not that. M4 Sherman says Asmon does it because he talks to his chat, takes their suggestions for videos, and plays whatever games he wants. That's what I thought, and I think I did a what is it? A poll the other time, and we talked about, would you guys watch me play video games? And a lot of people said no. A lot of people said yes. I think it was like a 75% split. But maybe I do play video games on here, and we just talk, and then we just hang out. And then if you guys give me a good topic, we switch over that and go. So maybe I can do like 4-hour live streams that I don't feel like I'm so drained because we're just hanging out. Someone says Asmon neglects other parts of his life. It's a fine balance. Yeah, I'm neglecting a lot of parts of my life. Like, I'm trying to be on that, if you guys didn't see, maybe I'll pull it up right now. Who's this guy? He, ran for 100 days. This guy. I worked out like David Goggins for 100 days. I'm trying to work out for 100 days straight. I think I'm on day... What day am I on? Let me see. I can't figure it out. I'm on like day 25 right now, so hopefully I'm losing weight, but maybe I'm not. I'm trying to look like this guy, but I'm neglecting it by doing this secondary channel, not working out as much as I should. So Luna Tiger says, let's grind Marvel Rivals. I'm terrible at that game. Like, I was decent at, what was that other game? It's like Marvel Rivals is like it. Overwatch. I was good at Overwatch, and only at that character that he's like a shooter tank guy. Like, he's okay, and then he like gets stuck in one spot, and then he's really effective. I forget what he's called. I was good at that guy, but there's really nobody like that in Marvel Rivals other than the Punisher, and he's still not as good. Bastion, yes, exactly, it's Bastion. Let me make sure that this latency is low, so you guys can interact more. And Ravens Malbean says, Punisher, I'm just not good at it. Like, I wanted to be good at Wolverine or Magneto, and I'm just terrible at both or whatever. Yeah, microtransactions is why I don't play a lot of these games. Play Metal Gear Solid 2? No, that game was far too complicated for me. I played Metal Gear 1. Maybe we'll play Metal Gear 1 and talk about politics, because there's a lot of politics in Metal Gear Solid games. Maybe we'll do that. But okay, wait. Decoy Gaming, maybe join 2. Yeah, maybe we'll do that. When does China retaliate? So, okay, we have this. Let me close this one out, actually. We have this video that we need to cover. It's in the thumbnail. But honestly, I want to cover, if you guys are talking about stocks and everything, we should cover what's happening with the stock market, because, what is it? It is, let me get my slides in order. It is, we cover this video on the last live stream. The Trump tariff panic is stupid. And I would have to eat my words that the Trump tariffs didn't work out. And we all lost a bunch of cash and, like, what was it? Like 1 trillion wiped from the stock market and kept on getting worse. But no, right now, everything is skyrocketing. People are very, very happy because, yes, the stank market. Unusual Whales, again, I feel like he's nonpartisan, and I didn't realize the cat bed is behind me there. A cat bed that was expensive that my cat refuses to use. If anybody in the chat, let me know. How can I convince my cat to use his expensive memory foam bed, the jerk? But yeah. Unusual Whale says, all right. I think people knew of the tariff pause and traded beforehand. You can see before Trump posted buy on Truth Social, traders opened this calls right before the news. Someone opened these calls expiring today. Those calls are up 2,100% in an hour. The volume was literally open today, that little green arrow ball. So it's like, you can see people loading the calls for reversal. Somebody knew. Yes, there's always going to be insider trading. It's sad, but here's the thing is, someone said they wanted a cat reveal. Where can I find my cat? If you're on Instagram and you follow me over there, you have seen the cat. He's living his best life based on you guys, man. He's getting top brand sushi because you guys super chat so much, like LPG. Don't super chat more. Actually, you can't even get super chats on this channel. But yes, no. He's living his best life until he got drafted. Conscription is scary. But this over here, somebody knew. But also, he was telling Americans before, like Sovereign Bra posted, saying, Trump told Americans to buy the dip before announcing a pause on his tariffs, which caused the market to surge. That's incredible. He tried giving Americans a chance to get rich without tipping his hand to foreign leaders, saying, it's now a great time to buy, and then he authorizes 90-day pause. So it's at, what time is this? I think it's like, what did he say? It was like hours before? I think it was hours before, if not a whole day. So, yeah, Nathan C. said, will the market tank by the end of the day? If the market tanks by the end of the day, that means that you know that this surge meant nothing. It was just more rumors. But I think since he announced his 90-day pause, it's going to stay up there. But also the thing that I want to highlight is Sovereign Bra called out is Trump's foreign policy negotiations were just the strategies from his book over and over again, and people still haven't caught on. Trump's Art of the Deal, it's an old book. I haven't read it. I read, a long time ago, my grandmother got me a book called Why We Want to Be Rich, Why We Want You to Be Rich. It's by Donald Trump and another millionaire, maybe he's a billionaire, a Japanese man. I forget what it is. And I read it a long time ago. It's like, okay, this is cool information about how to escape a lifetime of poverty. But I hadn't read this book. So I had Grok say, give me the bullet points of strategies from Donald Trump's book, Art of the Deal. So I'm wondering, okay, I can read it, I can listen to it on YouTube, but is he truly doing, like Sovereign Bra says, is he truly doing everything he said in this book? So I haven't read this yet. I'm glad you're back for the live streams. J. Matty Ice saying, here's some strategies from the Art of the Deal based on the core lessons. Think big, focus on ambitious goals instead of small wins. Okay, so yes, this is the tariffs are for us to beat China and the rest of the world in the trade wars, not necessarily bolster some boomers' 401ks in the short term. Know your market, rely on your own instincts and research over others' opinions to understand what people want. Okay? People want prosperity. They want American jobs. Maximize options. Keep flexibility open keep flexibility by exploring multiple possibilities and avoid being locked into one path. Leverage strengths. Yeah, America has all the people want American dollars, not the other way around. Get the word out, promote aggressively, hype generates interest and value, and even if it's exaggerated, yeah, exaggeration is like Donald Trump's, that's his calling card. That's all he does. We're going to stand up right now. But yeah. Oh my God. Yep, that's me, guys. I'm 6'5". Stop moving up. There we go. Get the word out. Fight back. Don't let aesthetics or critics derail you. Push harder when challenged. That's Donald Trump 1,000,000%. All he does is push back. Whenever you tell him he can't do something or it's bad, he just calls you an idiot on national television. Deliver the goods. Execution matters more than promises. Follow through and build credibility. He has lots of credibility right now. Have fun. Approach deals with energy and enjoyment. It keeps you sharp and motivated. Yes, if anything, Donald Trump enjoys talking trash. And idle hands, I just need something to do with my hands. You got a little Dodger mini bag. Have fun. Oh, yeah, and then trust your gut. Data helps, but intuition often seals a deal when facts alone aren't enough. Yeah, I think that Earthworm Jim says he's been consistent. It's consistency. And here we go. Icy Toucan says, the MAGA cult is insane. What are we doing that's more insane than the left right now? And I wouldn't even say I'm part of, well, here. I wouldn't say I'm the biggest Trump supporter, but I know you guys would consider, or people on the left would consider me a part of, like, the MAGA cult. What am I doing? Like, we covered in that video. Where is it? Where is that video? I need to find it right now. What is the MAGA cult allegedly doing more than, like, the girl we covered and, like, the unhinged fan takes it out on her dog? Like, the one that was going crazy, tearing off her shirt, and I didn't include it on the YouTube video, but on the original on TikTok that's still up right now, I believe. She, like, grabs her dog and tears it off, like, tears the shirt off the dog, and the dog gets all scared, and, like, he's obviously a little bit hurt, and it's like, I don't see the MAGA cult running out in the streets and, like the other video we're going to cover in a little bit today, blocking people, like, locking people in a subway system over in New York City because they're protesting on behalf of some words in the middle side over in a different country. Like, I don't think the MAGA cult is necessarily doing that, but here we are calling this side, oh my God, you guys are so insane, because we got to go back. We got to go to the original video over here, where this is why the left lost, because they are in a cult, because they don't really have any standards at all, and we really got to watch this video. It's crazy to me. Spent Brass says, so being a normal person is cult behavior. The math ain't mathin'. Yes, this I would present is what I would think is when you're in a cult.
Do you agree as a member? Hang on, I'm sorry, ma'am. But as a member of Congress, because I was just in
Oh, yeah, this is Byron Donalds. He is a congressman in Florida. He's likely going to be the mayor. I'm not the mayor. The governor after the DeSantis, I believe, terms out.
On Monday for trans-state visibility, and I would like you, as a member of Congress, to rise up.
I think it's funny. This guy comes over here and says, "Stop these crazy tariffs. Tariffs are taxes." Yes, isn't Donald Trump trying to replace income taxes with tariffs on other countries? And I forgot who it was on the Tucker Carlson show talking about how if the tariffs are just going to get passed on to the consumer and it's truly just going to be a tax on the people, why are all these countries and why are all these large corporations so freaked out about tariffs if it wasn't them that was going to have the impact of the tariffs? If it's going to be all these companies that says, hey, we can't use borderline slave labor in places like Vietnam and China anymore, we're going to have to pay living wages in America again. Maybe that's the tax on the corporation where they get a little bit less wealthy and the citizens actually get jobs for the products they're purchasing. Insane to me how the left is now somehow shouting, oh, stop these crazy tariffs, as if they're on the side of these large multinational organizations. Very bizarre to me, but here we are.
And support LGBTQ plus youth and stop this fucking insane attack on our children who know who they are.
Whoa. The insane attack on the kids. It's insane to me that they will selectively choose which kids they want to protect. Because remember, what school was it where they caught the person that was identifying as the gender they weren't born as? Trying to be very careful with this, but they claim they're the other gender, and they were caught in the bathroom R-ing another student in, good God, the story's so heinous, I can't even say where it was, but it rhymed with heinous. I even hate saying that. Oh my God. But you see the idea that she's not out there saying, who is protecting the kids from the people that are abusing this ideology to gain access to places? Because let's be clear, I've always said it on the other channel. I've known trans people. A lot of them are just trying to live their lives, and I'm not trying to look down on them, but I know that they have a harder life than most. Sad to say, a lot of them get ridiculed in public, and it's just, life is hard, life isn't fair, and I feel bad for them. So the idea is, I never want to make it harder on them because there are people just living their lives and they aren't trying to abuse the system. But there are individuals that try to go into the Wee Spa in Koreatown that are they have long histories of abusing that, and they are registered offenders, and they just use that ideology to say, oh, now I get to go expose myself around kids inside a spa because now I identify this thing, and the wild leftists will go out there and protest on my behalf. Why isn't she trying to protect the victims from predators? No, I'm just going to find a smaller subset of that group and try to protect them and yell in this guy's face. And the sad part is one of her arguments, you can see it up here, one of her arguments makes her position worse than initially.
Number one, no.
Number one, no way. I'm asking you questions. Give me answers. Here's an answer, number one. No! Don't give me answers. I just want to yell at you. I want to stick my finger in your face because of reasons.
Of course you're not, because you're a fascist.
Oh, he's a fascist. I wish Byron Donalds, that's Benny Johnson in the background, I believe. I wish one of them would say, define fascism. Please, define fascism and give me an example of what I've done that is fascist. Quite possibly she's very informed on this. I'm doubting it, but the idea is most of these people just recite these lines. You're a fascist. You're a whites, or words in the middle, supreme. Like, you do all these things, but I really can't extrapolate on that. Like, we saw that in the video where that crazy guy attacked Nick Shirley at the DC hands-off protest, where a lot of these people can't define why they're there. They're just there. And they feel good about it. Helio says, it's the la la la, I can't hear you argument. Yeah, it's just the soundbite politics, and it's sad.
You're a trace. You're a race traitor.
You're a race traitor. Oh my God. And leave it to them. By and large, college-educated, Caucasian female liberals that think, I know what's better for you people than you. You may have been this your entire life. You may have grown up in that community, pulled yourself all up by the bootstraps, and became a U.S. congressman. But you know what? As a college educated, yeah, that's me. I'm Decoy, not a college educated. But the idea is, as a white, liberal, college-educated woman, I know what's better for the black community. Here I am telling you, you're a race traitor because you don't align with my values. Look how I'm being the literal, liberal, white savior for you. It's disgusting.
Race? You're a race traitor.
Even Benny Johnson can't believe what he's hearing.
You're a fascist.
Oh, they're gonna fast.
I said I don't agree, and then you start yelling at me.
He can't even get a word in.
You call me a fascist? You call me a race traitor? And you want me to agree with you? What are you talking about, ma'am? I'm a constitutionalist. Ma'am, I'm a constitutionalist. I believe in freedom and liberty for everybody. I believe in the U.S. Constitution. I believe in everybody's freedoms and rights. But if I don't...
Wait. What is wrong with believing in the U.S. Constitution? They say, really, hey, expand upon it. No. I just need to start yelling over you.
Hold on.
Yeah, Red Mage 420 says it's because they're the actual racist. It's called projection. We got some videos about that coming up soon. It's true.
Is that why you supported
when I don't agree with you, then all of a sudden I'm a fascist?
And he said, if I don't agree with you, all of a sudden that's fascist. I kind of think that's exactly where they're coming from. I think that that's where they draw the line. Fascism is everything I don't like. The same way they say racism is everything I don't like. Or all of a sudden, like things like waking up early, smiling, being on time, bird watching. Like they made the mainstream media classifies everything that they, for some reason, don't like as exclusionary or racist. So the new key word they have is fascism, because then they can say, oh, it's like you're a Nazi, but I'm not calling you a Nazi, in a more complicated way. It's funny because that's all it is. Like, he can't give them the definition. Oh, you believe in the Constitution or anything. It's just, no, if you don't agree with me, you're fascist. Even though they're aligning themselves with actual fascists in the meantime. It's crazy.
If all you want to do is yell and scream and curse when I don't agree with you.
And they're smiling, they're laughing, they're like, we got him. It's the pigeon argument. It's like, you can't play chess with a pigeon, because a pigeon, no matter what you do on the board, the pigeon's always going to knock over the pieces in the end of the game and just trot around like they won. That's exactly what's happening right here. What's this poster say? Fascist dork? You got us.
I'm sorry, ma'am. You are now in the 20% of America.
You don't need to worry, because you will never get my vote, and you don't live.
We don't want your vote. If that's how, if just saying, you know what, we got to start protecting these particular people by sacrificing these other kids. So you know what, that's how I get your vote. He's like, no, you're a part of that 20% that is lost it. We don't ever want her vote, because getting her vote is too expensive morally.
I'm gonna be your governor. Trust me.
You're not. No, you're not.
Oh, yes, I am.
It's funny. It's like, no, you're not. No, you're not. But the idea that she's calling white liberal woman, calling black man race traitor to his face is next level insanity. And it's crazy because one thing I missed on the main channel, Decoy Voice, is we covered the Dodgers going there, and just, we're not gonna play the whole video, but she's going crazy. She's going crazy. Tearing off her own shirt.
Benny, give me
tearing off the shirt off her dog. But the crazy part that I kind of missed when I did this is when she's going over all the people that went to visit Donald Trump. So she's talking about the Dodgers. She is what I believe is Chinese and Mexican. But listen to who she singles out in particular when they're complaining about the Dodgers visiting Donald Trump.
How honored everybody looks. Ohtani looks like he just saw a movie star. Oh my God, he's so happy. Isn't he an immigrant and a DEI? Talking about DEI, look at how happy Mookie looks. And don't forget, Mookie is married to a black woman.
So she's mainly calling out the black man, the African-American, who's married to an African-American woman. Because there are two other people. I think Teoscar Hernandez would be considered, what is that, Afro-Caribbean? And then, who's the other guy that's on the team? Jack Flaherty. I guess he's not there right now because he signed with another team. But she's not calling out there. Or Jack's not even there. But he's not calling out Teoscar. But you saw this over here where somebody else calls out the person on the team. Where is it? The visiting Trump, making unsubstantiated. Here it is. So someone also on Reddit was calling out their visit to the White House, saying, never in my life was I ashamed to be a fan of the team until today. What a slap in the face. Shame on all of them, especially Mookie. And it's insane how they just always go against specifically the African Americans on there. Like, I remember when I worked in security, it was sad where I would hear racist things. I'd hear racist comments sent to me all the time. But as if you guys knew, sometimes on telephones, or even if you're just watching this or you're listening to this as a podcast, certain people think that I'm African American on telephones, just voice alone. I guess, whatever. But the idea is, I remember when I was working security and I had one of my employees was a black guy, and some lady freaks out on us. She's African American as well. Freaks out on us, leaves, and then calls our location afterwards to, like, talk trash to us over the telephone. But she thought that I was I don't even want to say partner, because that sounds not in the context that everybody says now, but, you know, the guy I was working with, she thought I was him, a black male. And it was crazy of all this vile racism I was hearing from a black woman to what she thought was a black man, where she's calling me the company's slave, the company's house person, and all these just, race traitor things. And I was sitting there like on the phone. I thought it was funny, sadly, but I'm like, man, I kind of wish that you thought I was an Asian guy and just gave me regular Asian guy racism and slurs about me, like with canine cuisine or whatever regular rate, like make fun of my eyes, whatever. I don't want to be called a house person. And I was like, this is sad because you guys are more racist towards each other than to other. And it was insane to me, but it's like this right here. It's almost like they feel like they own them because of your race. It's very sad. No, I do not. Even the bald guy covered. It's no, I'm not. I can't accept. No. Nah, bro, you definitely sound that for real, for real. I mean, here's the thing. You can sound like it as much as you want, but if I said it, I'd get banned everywhere. So even if there is in the genealogy, no. Yeah, Otani's a legend. Yeah, thanks for being here. Yeah, Reddit is bad. Am I good at math? No. Bringing great shame to my ancestor. If I had my headband, I'd go it right now, but I don't have it. Captain Miserable says, vocal appropriation. Yeah, exactly. That's what this is. But yeah. Moving on, it's crazy how they pretty much, the Democrats have become the party of supremacy of the whites. It's crazy. Like, listen to this. This is Sunny Hostin. She's from The View. I don't know what show she's on, but this is crazy.
People don't have cars, don't have driver's licenses. So it's sort of a vestige of, I think, post-slavery laws where black people had to prove their right to vote, and oftentimes
prove their right to vote. Yes, everybody has to. We're all equals. When I go to the voting booth, being in California, I didn't have to, but when I go to the voting booth, I should have to prove I'm a U.S. citizen and I belong here and I have the right to vote. It's not like by default. There's no like guilt or innocent until proven guilty, voter until proven Chinese citizen. Like, no, you should be able to have to prove you're a U.S. citizen, but somehow they think special laws because of reasons.
They couldn't vote because they couldn't pass some crazy test, or they didn't have the appropriate ID. It also affects women that are married. Maybe your passport reflects.
I look down on women. I look down on people of color. I think you're less than. I think that you are less able to go to the DMV and get the appropriate documents to prove that you are, in fact, a U.S. citizen. Because I will say this, as someone not born in the U.S., it was much more difficult for me. I had to get like my passport and my real ID. It was much more difficult for me to figure out all this stuff. And like, it's like I don't have a traditional, what do you call it, like a birth certificate or whatever. Like, it's to not go too deep into it. I wasn't born here, but also I wasn't born. I wasn't born in the conventional sense. No, that doesn't make any sense. Like as if I was a test tube baby or something. Going off on too far on a tangent. But yes, it's very difficult for certain people to be able to get your documents in order to prove your identity. We're adults, we should be able to. And if you're not literate enough to get to the DMV to figure out how to, or not even the DMV, or whatever government area that you need to get your passport, what is it, the post office? I somehow doubt that you're going to be politically knowledgeable enough to know who has your best interest in mind.
Something that's different on your birth certificate or on your driver's license. So really the bottom line is voter suppression. And I agree with him 100%. It's a brilliant.
Oh, it's voter suppression. No, it's called adulting. It's called being an adult. It's like we used to be in a country where only landowners could vote. I honestly saw someone give the pass around the concept of only people with children should be able to vote. So if you adopt, you can still vote, but you have to have some sort of investment in the future to be able to vote for the future of the country. The idea that they're just trying to say, oh, yeah, everybody, including someone that is old, retired, or who is the president? Chat, let me know. Who is the president that was literally wheeled out, like barely conscious, to see somebody else's funeral, I think it is. And then they said, oh, yes, and he also voted for Kamala Harris. Like, who is it? It was a homunculus. I don't know. What is that? Carter. Yeah, Jimmy Carter. Like, sad to say, I don't think we should count Jimmy Carter's vote. If he's barely sentient enough to keep himself alive, I don't think that he's voting for anybody. It's somebody voting on his behalf. It's an auto pen, just like with Joe Biden. There should be certain levels to voting. Like, I'm not a big on, all those guys that know that liberalism is literally feminine energy, where they're just without white women, no Democrat would have been voted in office ever. The idea that I'm not on repealing that amendment to give a woman the ability to vote. I'm about saying, hey, there should be a basic civics test whenever you vote. Everybody can vote, but if you can't answer basic questions about what party does Donald Trump hail from? Or what position did Barack Obama most recently hold in public office? Things like that. If you just get your political values from bumper stickers and social media slogans, I don't think your vote should count. You should know at least a little bit. Just like whatever's on the fifth grade version of the citizenship test, that should be on the ballot, on the back of every ballot. You fill out who you want to vote for, but also you say, how many stars are on the flag? What do the stripes represent? Multiple choice questions. Have the stars say, they represent the states, SpongeBob SquarePants, and the amount of outs in a baseball game. Make it very simple. But if they can't get that correct, I don't think your vote should count. So I'm not the person to ask with this type of stuff. But here we go.
Notion that less voter ID laws allows more people to vote.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. It allows more invalid people to vote, which is, what is that Supreme Court election that just occurred recently, where they said the margin of victory was within the amount of people that they can't verify if they are actually legal U.S. citizens able to vote. This is becoming a larger issue, and the more the Democrats fight back on that, the more the Democrats say, we're suing you if you make certain that everybody fills out saying, I am a U.S. citizen on the ballot, the more I think you want to have non-U.S. citizens vote, and also not even non-U.S. citizens voting, but just people that don't exist. That's what I'm thinking.
And most democracies do it that way. We're the only ones that really don't do it that way.
Whoa, wait, let me make sure, because I think most, if not all, democracies require voter ID. Is she trying to just claim the opposite?
The bottom line is voter suppression. And I agree with him 100%. It's a brilliant notion that less voter ID laws allows more people to vote.
We want citizens, not people, citizens.
And most democracies do it that way. We're the only ones that really don't do it that way.
No, there's a chart somewhere. I need to find it. I'm too little bit lazy right now. Let's actually look it up. Countries that require voter ID, because she's just making stuff up. And on The View, they oftentimes do. Let's see. Countries that require voter ID. I mean, they're probably not going to using a Fox source, but it's basically everywhere. Every single country, even Haiti. Even Haiti wants you to have voter ID. Chile, Taiwan, Japan, Italy, France, South Korea, Botswana, Germany, Netherlands, Luxembourg. Lots of countries I couldn't spell without seeing it in front of me. Latvia, Estonia. So yeah, most countries required. But here you have somebody from The View with their shoe-sized IQ basically saying, yeah, this is a lie. This is a lie. No, it's all this hidden racism behind it. Well, you see, here, they're outright just on the surface admitting that they're racist people. It's sad. So they're talking about how they want us to not use tariffs because it's going to bring back all these hard manufacturing jobs back to the U.S. to get paid the living wage that they keep on crying for.
So I had to go around the country and educate people about what immigrants do for this country, or the fact that we are a country of immigrants. Right.
Okay. What is it? Joe Rogan was talking about, I'm sick of them trying to conflate the original immigrants into the country. Where if you see that movie, what is it? That movie, TV series by the guy that made Yellowstone, 1884. Yeah, what it's called. But they talked about hey, those immigrants were dying by snake bites, by just getting the runs in their tummy. Indians were killing them. Like, everything was killing the original immigrants here. There was no social safety net. There was no free cell phone. There was no free stay at the Roosevelt Hotel. There was nothing like that. They were suffering and starving and just trying not to die. The original immigrants were pioneers, not the same thing as people coming in right now, even somebody like me. So stop trying to do this one-to-one comparison. Then we're not the same. I'm talking about me as an immigrant to the original immigrants that founded this country. We are not the same. Stop trying to say, like, oh, we're founded by them, so I should be seen the same way. Absolutely not. Yeah, not a nation of immigrants. We're a nation of pioneers, as Cassidel Bowen said. It's true. But here she is, about to make the dumbest point ever made on television from someone that received enough votes in Texas to become a congresswoman.
Right. The fact is, ain't none of y'all trying to go and farm right now.
Ain't none of y'all trying to go and farm right now. Obviously, my English isn't the greatest, but I'm a YouTuber. I have no institutional power in our government. But here you have her saying, ain't none of y'all want to go farming right now. I would go to say just because she wants to wear those eyelashes and her suit that looks like it's from the Batman comic books as a villain, she doesn't want to go out there and farm. But I know there's a lot of blue-collar workers out there that take great pride in farming. You just go look at homesteading or all the people, like, who's the person that was just on Daryl Leave's live stream? She made a whole YouTube career off of farming, and it's like, some people take pride in hard work. Just because you want to be fancy and have suspiciously expensive properties on your government salary doesn't mean you represent more than 10% of Americans.
Ain't none of y'all trying to go and farm right now.
A lot of us are.
Okay, so I'm lying. Raise your hands.
Yeah, raise your hands as she's like staring daggers at them like, hey, I'm at Grace Baptist Church, or Grace Baptist Church. Don't you dare prove me wrong.
You're not. We done picking cotton.
We done picking cotton. As if somebody still has to. But the immigrants, not us. Let them be the lower underclassmen. We are now the Supremes. Like, this is such a bad point to make, but again, it's just that subtle racism that they have behind themselves that they can't help but let leak out every now and then. As Lance says, isn't most harvesting machine-based anyway? It's true, but again, nothing in her speech here shows that she understands what's happening in the country with blue-collar Americans. It's just, no, I'm making my sound bites. We done... She literally had this line likely written down or even conceptualized previously saying, we done picking cotton, and thought, this was a good thing to say. This is what I'm going to run my campaign on trying to be the next president of the United States of America. Sheer absurdity.
We are. You can't pay us enough to find a plantation. I know that's right.
And someone in the background said, I know that's right. Absolute ridiculous that they think this is a good thing. But I mean, no, I would say they're secretly racist, but I don't even think it's a secret anymore. They're just openly racist, and that's just who they are. What is this? Character limits killing you. I mean, sad to say, right now the chat's pretty much open because we only have, 300 viewers. The other channel, we were kind of averaging 2,000, so it's kind of hard to see the chat. But I mean, at least we're able to have more discussions. And here's the thing: Mystical Stab Artist says the plantation is the Democrat Party, and it's sad because how many times do they pretty much openly say we own you, like the Democrats? Joe Biden saying, if you don't vote for me, then you ain't black. That crazy woman. I closed the tab already. But that crazy lady saying, you're a fascist. If you don't do what I want politically, then you're a race traitor. Like, they literally think they own you. Like, I get chats in my box or in my comment section saying, you're a disgrace to Asian people because the Democrats don't own me. Like, do you know what the Democrat Party has done to Koreans in Los Angeles over the years? How much we're overlooked? And currently, like, what's one of the first things Joe Biden did when he got in office? There were lawsuits against affirmative action. I believe it was in Ivy League schools like Harvard or Stanford. I forget which school it was in particular. But there were lawsuits from Asian people that looked like me, that are smarter than me trying to get in that college saying, hey, you guys discriminated on us because you don't want too many Asians in your school, so you made tests unfair against us for the the character portion to keep us out because we're too overperforming. You're racist against us. One of the first things Joe Biden did in office was take that lawsuit away so we can no longer sue them for their affirmative action admissions policies. He makes it harder for myself, people that look like me, and my children to get into school. And then he invites the Korean pop supergroup BTS to the White House to talk to them. Like, I've covered this extensively in videos before, where it was like, I think at the time, only one of the 7 members of BTS spoke English. Everybody else has a very loose understanding of it. So Joe Biden plays in his like weird Roomba stance. He plays one of BTS's songs. They laugh and clap, and then in broken English say, thank you, Joe Biden, for inviting us to the White House. It was insane that they thought, hey, if you're an Asian guy, you're a Korean dude, and you can't get into college, fuck you. But did you know that we had BTS at the White House? So we still own you. How dare you, decoy voice, not vote for Joe Biden because we invited BTS to the White House? Just like when Joe Biden says, if you're not black, if you won't vote for me, then you ain't black. But guess what? I sat down with some black kids and had fried chicken at their house. Vote for me. It was the most condescending thing, but they only get there if they think they own us. And the sad part is, for a lot of people, they do. And it's disgusting to see because they don't represent them. But if you ever get off of their area and you're like Byron Donald saying, hey, I'm conservative because I feel like this is the best way out of poverty for me and my people, they say, no, you're a race traitor. Joshua Maxim says they think we're stupid. Exactly. And here's the thing, Delta Source. Funny thing, I think BTS voted for Biden. Probably because they're not U.S. citizens. It's hilarious. But that's why I don't mind so much when baseball players go to visit. Where's the tab? When the Dodgers go visit the White House when Biden's in office, or they visit the White House when Trump is in office. Because by and large, like, she's mad that Ohtani visited Trump. If they invited her to go see the president of Japan or the president of Korea, does she know if their president is conservative or liberal? Likely not. You'd just be honored to go say, wait, I'm such a significant character in my field, whether it's like the best accountant, the best school teacher, or the best baseball player. If another country thinks you're the great, if you're like the top of your field and Japan wants you to meet their president, I don't know who it is. Is he a Democrat? Is he a liberal? Is he a filthy DEI hire? I don't know, but I'd feel honored enough to go. I would go. So it's like crazy how they think everybody should be terminally online as me and believe all the same things I do because I am too emotionally unhinged to have conviction with my values. I have to be constantly validated by everybody around me, or else I freak out and tear off my shirt and then hurt my dog. And it's just sad. It's sad. Thank you, Kai Taro. I am the GOAT. Why aren't more world leaders inviting me to go visit them? I'm to the point right now where, honestly, I feel like I'm afraid to go to China. Like, I had friends that want to go do trips in Asia, and one of the flights would have landed them in, what's that big airport over there? I honestly would be concerned about going through their security. There's facial recognition, and I'm Asian, but not Asian enough looking to not be... That's decoy voice. Delta Source says, you can't tear off your shirt. We all know you have no muscles. That's true, because it's true. It's a Gavin Newsom quote, but it's just the idea that also sounds like bait. I'm not trying to get clipped tearing off my shirt and being topless, and also I'm not trying to get clipped unsuccessfully tearing off my shirt and being topless. Yeah, Uganda hater saying, please don't hurt Cheddar, and that's sad. It's like, I love my pets. Why would I ever punish my pet? Like, why would I ever put, like, let's say, what is something I don't like? Okay, let's say a Donald Trump t-shirt. Oh, I put a MAGA shirt on my cat because I think it's funny. And then they don't release the Epstein list. Or they say they're going to Fort Knox and they don't go to it. I'm like, oh my God, they violated me and they don't validate my thoughts. Let me go up to my cat and for something that he could never fathom in a million eons, what's happening. Let me harm him. Let me shake him up and get him scared of me because I need to make a point while I go crash out on my selfie camera, which I also don't understand. Like, obviously, as someone that does social media as a career, it's a little hypocritical, but, and I'm not trying to gloat about this, but this is my full-time job now. I have to go on camera and make points and kind of ramble or whatever it is. So it's like, I understand why I would do it, but I don't necessarily understand why someone that averages like 1,000 views on TikTok, which are not monetized, why would you go on TikTok and crash out on camera voluntarily? Because none of that pivots into making money. I understand that like all publicity is good publicity, but if she was like showing her fashion hauls or traveling or showing food or something that could get to the level where it's like, yeah, you make 1,000 views a day, that's fine. But if you get 100,000 views tomorrow, then you can make a career out of it. Nobody can really make a career out of shaking their own dog. Like that doesn't compute to me, so I'll never understand that. Yeah, Indigo Eclipse says, we don't deserve dogs, they're good boys. It is very true. We don't deserve the loyalty of dogs. But cats, on the other hand, which I want a dog, but I don't know about the responsibility right now. But yeah, the cats, we don't deserve cats, but also cats don't deserve us. Like, I feed him the most premium of foods, and I take care of him very well. I let him sleep wherever he wants on the bed now. It is very annoying and terrible on my spine. And yet, I feel like I almost annoy him. Like, he's like a teenage son. Like, okay, yeah. Just put the food on the plate and get the fuck out of my face. Like, that's how I feel he looks at me, even though I paid for multiple $1,000 surgeries for the ungrateful guy. It's sad. Hey, Uganda saying, F my cat. It's messed up, but that's kind of how we feel towards our own animals. They really don't care about us. So, I mean, I have other topics we could cover. We've been going for like, what is it, almost an hour, but I want these chats to be kind of open-ended. Yeah, Indigo Eclipse said, did you see the direwolf thing? Let's see if we can find a video on the direwolf thing, because we should talk about this stuff. We should talk about this stuff and just let you guys kind of run the conversation. Is it like a 7-minute video from Time? Which one should we do? Should we look at ABC News' story, Times News' story, or the ABC News' 10-minute story? Let me know, chat. Let's look at one of them. Well, this guy's saying, oh, this is a 30-minute. I don't want to watch a 30-minute video. The Rogan Shorts clip. The ABC short. Maybe Sunshine, cats own you, dogs need you. What is it? The comic book I saw, the web comic that says, when you feed your dog, they're like, oh my God, you feed me, you must be God. And then when you feed a cat, they say, oh my God, he's feeding me, I must be God. That's exactly what it is. ABC one, good. Okay, so we'll watch the ABC News one, and then we'll also watch the Joe Rogan shorts about the direwolf too. Let's see. JRE clip, direwolf. That's a 15-minute clip. What? Wait. ABC is fake news. And here's the thing: is I think that all these news outlets can be objective and unbiased as long as one of their sponsors or the Democrats aren't on the receiving end of the criticism. That's why you can always call them out for their hypocrisy, because previously they'll give you unbiased reporting on something, and then later on they'll say, oh, well, what is it? Joe Biden's cognitive decline is not a big issue. And then now they're like, Donald Trump is obviously senile now. So it's like, yeah, they're not going to give you unbiased opinions on something because they have a financial gain on one side of it. So it's like, we can look at their reporting on, you can look at their reporting on something like a direwolf and think, you know what? I think it's unbiased because who's paying them? Maybe the Chinese, who knows?
Remarkable scientific breakthrough. 13,000 years.
I know this guy. This guy's bullshit.
The last dire wolf walked the earth. Scientists say they've now brought them back. Here's our chief national correspondent, Matt Gutman, with the video tonight.
Seen this
tonight? A howl.
I kind of feel like this is terrifying. This is like the first scene out of a movie that's about like a zombie apocalypse or Jurassic Park. Like, this is the first scene. How cute, how adorable, until everything went wrong. Yeah, it's genetic tampering. Scary.
18,000 years in the making. In a first for science, biotech company Colossal Biosciences says it brought the extinct direwolf back to life.
Adorable.
A species that hasn't walked the earth since the Stone Age.
And he's pissed.
Direwolf is the first de-extinct species.
Well known.
They made 2 males and 1 female because you have to get the alpha male. You can't what if the first male you make is like a beta simp? You need to make sure that these 3 direwolves are responsible for the survival of the species, survival of the fittest.
From HBO's hit show Game of Thrones, ABC News given exclusive access into Colossal's lab in Dallas, where scientists are using genes from gray wolves to create dire wolves.
We've taken a gray wolf genome, a gray wolf cell, which is already genetically 99.5% identical to dire wolves.
Wait, so that's bullshit then. Wait, if they already had 99.5% of a dire wolf, we had it. Like, this is our downvote, guys. Downvote. This is ridiculous. This whole story is nonsense to me. 99.5% of a dire wolf. Like, if I was 99.5% of Shohei Ohtani's baseball ability, that 0.5% is just, it's a bad example. It's like, it's so negligible. This isn't even a news story. They just labeled it something. God, I hate the news, man.
And we've edited those cells at multiple places in its DNA sequence to contain the direwolf version of the DNA. That animal looks like a direwolf, it will behave like a direwolf, and it is a direwolf.
Now, 7 months old, direwolves Romulus and Remus eating well.
It is, yeah. Never not hipster. Aren't humans like 80% banana? I think it's, what is it? Humans, banana, DNA. We are more than 60% identical, but I think it's cow. 80% the genes with humans. We're 80% bovine. And then monkey, I think we're even less. Oh, humans and chimps share 98.8% of the DNA. Okay, I take it all back. If we're only... Holy fuck, that math is hard. 1.2% of the DNA. Actually, I need to check myself. What's 100 minus 98.8? 1.2%. I am now a math Asian. You saw it. If you were here, if you were one of the guys, the 351 concurrent viewers, you got to see it live when I regained the crown of being a math Asian. But yes, 1.2% away. That 1.2% is a huge jump from chimp to human. So then if they were 0.5%, then that's a big jump. Never mind. I don't know. I finally math. You witnessed it. Witness me. I think it's hilarious that my likes jumped up right now. You guys all like the video when you did it. No, I didn't have to use a calculator. I did it in my mind, mentally, mental math, and then I checked with a calculator. A real Asian probably wouldn't have had to check with a calculator. God damn it.
Getting bigger every day.
Return to...
And David, the company tells us they're not stopping there. They plan to have woolly mammoths roaming the earth again by 2028. But critics argue that this de-extinction could harm fragile ecosystems.
It could.
David.
Yeah, the images are
There's a reason they're extinct. Let them be extinct. I think it's ridiculous. Decoy math stream. Should I just do an entire stream of math? I remember I went to a YouTube event and I met a girl that her entire YouTube imprint is her doing math. And it's like, oh, wow, that's interesting. Like, how'd you make a career off of that? And it was sad because I'm like, that's amazing. You're teaching kids how to do math. But it's disgusting because she's sitting in front of a whiteboard. No shade to her. Like, she's making a career out of it. But she's in front of a whiteboard doing math and, like, being smiley and happy or whatever. But all the comments are disgusting. Just about the girl and her physique and her everything about her physically. And it's like, man, it is rough out there being a girl trying to make content without people objectifying you and then duping the YouTube algorithm to just show you to more perverted men. Like, whose live stream was I watching recently? Savannah Hernandez, doing really good on the street journalism. But if you go on her live stream, the comment section is disgusting. Like, I understand you guys are mean to me, and it's funny. I'd rather have hate comments and even people threatening me on email saying, oh my God, I'm going to come after you and do all this like rancid stuff. Like, I get weird emails or whatever than just the comments about your appearance that I see some of these female content creators get. It's sad. Sin Rose saying it's all old men. Yeah. So no. The waving, that wasn't a veiled request for that. It was just the idea of, I feel bad for them. They're making good content. They're out there doing real stuff, like the math girl and the journalist. They actually are doing real world stuff. Like, I'm over here talking trash on live stream and doing videos where I make fun of stuff and I rhyme like a weird bridge troll trying to tell you riddles. They're doing real stuff, and yet they can't get past the idea of, hey, you're a somewhat attractive girl. Let's make the entire comment section about that. It's sad. Quick, everyone catcall him. No, see, okay, I guess. You know what? You can't say anything on that. You look delicious in that hat. And you know what? That's 10 times creepier than a guy saying, I know where you live. I saw you walking your dog. Like, I would rather a guy saying, hey, were you on this street corner? I'm gonna come get you next time, than you look delicious in a hat. My God, blessing and curse. Yeah, you know what it is, blessing and curse, because I feel like a lot of girls on social media can use their beauty as a pivot where you initially watch them, like, because the thumbnail, like, we're biologically programmed to say, oh my God, that woman is gorgeous. You click it, and then all of a sudden they're doing something magnificent. Like, I think there's one gymnast I've seen where it's like, yeah, they're a good-looking person, but also they're incredibly talented. They have a good personality, and it's like, okay, it's like the whole package. You probably wouldn't have gotten to see them and all their talent and like enjoy their content if they were a 80-year-old obese person. Not too many 80-year-old obese people out there in the world, but yeah, that's the way it is. Mysterious Potato says, you look delicious. It gets worse. I bet you make great egg rolls. Worse. Touch your toes. I'll show you. If it wasn't for me prompting this, and this is my own, I'm victim shaming. This is my own doing. I'd have to ban that comment, but honestly, I'm wearing a black t-shirt. This isn't an outfit. This is an invitation. Sad. He can keep the hat on for all I care. Good God. And that's why, you know what? I was wondering, I was like, oh, who was it? I was watching a live stream. I'm like, is this live? I don't know. Like, I'm doing this live right now. But I wondered if the other live streamers are doing a premiere or a live stream. And then I saw Candace Owens. It's like a premiere. So she's in the live chat, like, interacting with you. It's pretty cool. But for the most part, these girls can be live streaming, but they won't be looking at the chat because it's just disgusting. It'll throw you off your game. Sometimes when I was doing like more serious topics, like around the election, I'd have to ignore the chat because the insanity I would see there. But I mean, yeah, with sub 1,000 live stream viewers, you're not gonna get much. You're not gonna get much stuff like that. Yeah, you guys can come up with some pretty rancid stuff. They'll moderate it heavily. Yeah, I know, like the girls like, who's a big one? Pokimane. I think they have like a lot of moderators on there, so they take care of that stuff. But yeah. Kat says, us women can be just as skeezy. I'm just saying. Yeah, I can tell you as maybe like I was like 20 years old, maybe 19, as like a 20-year-old salesperson in a woman's department. So I was in a fancy store and I was selling women's merchandise as a 20-year-old just wearing a suit. I would tell you the way a lot of those girls, like old ladies, even like girls my age, I don't want to be mean, unappealing people that I would not want to go on a date with. The way they would treat me and feel almost entitled to treat me, and even homosexual men. It's just weird how if you're a male employee, like a young male employee, college-aged, people feel just openly, like, socially permitted to harass you, to say rancid things to you, and to try to be, like, too close to you. And it's sad that if I was a woman, and it was old men or older woman hitting on you, that'd be a felony. Like, they'd be going to jail if they said the same things they were saying to me. And it's very bizarre, but that's the way it is. Like, that's society in a nutshell. If the roles were reversed, it's that way. But I guess it comes down to, yeah, I'm not all about, men and women are equal. We're very much not so. Like, for the most part, I never go on an online date worrying if I'm going to be kidnapped. But I feel like every girl going on an online date, that's probably like 10% in the back of their minds. Like, we're not equal. Like, men do more crime than women. It's a stat. and they have to act accordingly. Kind of bizarre how you can't address that in other facets of life, but society is society. Yeah, maybe Sunshine, I feel bad for the young generation. I would too if the internet was the internet. Like, I think of my nieces and nephews, and I think about the amount of wokeness I see in online and schools, and how, like, oh, they gotta, all use their pronouns, and they gotta make sure they always acting woke, like when you see high schools being portrayed on a Netflix show. But from what I've seen from my nephews and nieces, even in California, it seems like they're very based. Like, I remember growing up, and like hip hop in my generation was calling people the F word. That's a slur for people of a certain sexual orientation. Everybody was calling each other G. You just called it. It was funny back then. It was socially acceptable. It's not right, but it was just the way things are. I was worried that the next generation would have, like, meltdowns and need special counseling if someone called them. No, they're back to that, guys. I'm telling you right now, firsthand, they're offensive again. They're not like the millennials clutching their pearls and looking down like, oh my God, the kids need to be protected so much. No, kids are based again. That's how it is. Yeah, Ryan L saying, your G. Trust me, my group of friends growing up were calling me the C word that is a slur for Asians, like Chinese. I'm not even Chinese. They were saying the G word, even though that was like beyond me. Like, I didn't know that represented Koreans. I was like, okay, whatever. Like, there was lots and lots of racism growing up. And that's why when I get racist things thrown on me online now, it doesn't impact me because I almost affiliated with friends. Spent Brass says, bring back COD lobbies. I feel like that would be the type of a shock therapy. Like, if you have a snowflake, oh my God, I was at the Starbucks and someone called me a pronoun that I didn't accept and I felt bad, like they're crying about it. Throw them in a Call of Duty lobby, throw them in Modern Warfare 2, have them be called all the slurs, all the negative things, all the things, and then realize after they put the game down, nothing changed. They're not a bad person. Those are probably ignorant people online anyway. Give them that shock therapy and almost like Pavlov them, where whenever they sat down for like enjoyment, like, work sucks, scrubbing dishes all day, kind of got burned by the French fry machine. But when I finally had a moment to sit down and have a nice cold beer or a nice Coca-Cola and have some snacks and play Call of Duty and have fun, I was being called racial slurs the entire time. You're almost being Pavloved into, that was enjoyable. It's very sad, but maybe that's why people on Call of Duty lobbies aren't original Call of Duty lobbies aren't snowflakes. That's like what the guy Nick Merckx, like all the big time gamers that have been around for a while, they're very much based because they were probably programmed to not be that way. Ivor Chad says, you're late 2 times in the beginning. You don't got to do that because on Decaf Decoy, we're never going to paywall the live streams. We're actually going to have clips of the live streams of just less of this chit chat. So I feel like live streams can be more chit chat. We can hang out more, and I can chat with you guys. And then I'll have maybe 1 or 2 topics, and then you guys can give me topics. Like, is there something you guys want me to cover on YouTube? Let me know in chat. Kenny saying, voice chats reporting is the softest thing ever. Yeah, exactly. You can always mute somebody. Like, I play Fortnite, and what I think is little kids talk trash to me, and I just mute them. I don't need that for my self-esteem. I don't need to know that me as a grown adult am getting sniped out of the sky by someone that can't even drive their own car. I don't need that for my self-esteem, so I just block them because I don't want to hear it. You know what? Yeah, Xbox COD Battlefield lobbies where boys became men with insults. No, I mean, it's where men become boys with insults, but that's just the way it was. Muting Helldivers like crazy. Yeah, here's the thing, I understand. Nintendo Switch, no voice chat. That's supposed to be for kids. Like, let the kids be kids without being exposed to being called slurs. I'm okay with that. But if we're on adult Xbox playing a game that is rated T or rated 18 plus or mature or whatever it's called, we should all be adults. If we're on Grand Theft Auto and we're in-game shooting at PD and also hiring Woman of the Evening, I expect everybody on that lobby to be an adult. We should not have muted lobbies on there. We should not be able to censor somebody because the game by its nature should be for adults. I'm glad you're here live. No blocking, well, I mean, especially with 350 concurrents, we need more people. Switch to $80 games. I saw somewhere online, what was it? find my Twitter. Where's my replies? And if you're not following me on Twitter, follow me on Twitter or X. I have 17K over there. I'm growing. It's it's not necessarily X. It's on. If you guys are on Instagram, I'll post more behind the scenes stuff. But what is it? Follow me on Instagram. I have barely anything over there. I'll probably do more stories, behind the scenes stuff, and especially with my new mic, I'll probably do that. But what is it? Where's my replies? Can't find it, but someone said the new Switch cartridges, they're going to be like $90, but they say they're not going to taste good to discourage little kids from eating the cartridges because they're so small and choking on them. And I was like, no. If the game cartridge is $90, it better taste like Willy Wonka chocolate. Like, I'm paying for premium cartridges. It better be edible and still playable. Oh, yeah. What is it? Wait. Someone's saying Tim Pool is not that tall. The one thing I'll say is everything is very subjective because you have me and Tim Pool. Cool, whatever. I took a picture with Jeff Dye. Comedian, right? And everybody started to like reply to me saying, "Oh my God, is Decoy Voice like 2'3" or like our Decoy Voice is 5 feet tall?" And it's like, no, dude. Like Jeff Dye is a like NBA center. He's a massive individual, and it's like, no, it's all a matter of perspective. Like everybody says, what is it? Ben Shapiro short or Tim Pool short. I feel like these guys are all average height. It's just you're surrounded by very large individuals, and it's gonna make you look small. But I feel like I get a lot of disaffected Tim Pool fans, but honestly, I'll say this from like someone that's gone to the Cast Castle and met him. Like, seems like a really cool person. His whole team seems really cool. They're very like down to earth. I think that sometimes rumors get ahead of themselves. Like, what was it? Let me actually look right now because I saw this on the Asmongold subreddit. I didn't even check. I didn't even click the link. Oh, yeah, they actually clipped me saying Asmongold beef, Decoy Voice beef with Asmongold. I don't beef with him. I just said that he won't talk to me because he's a larger streamer. Like, that's like me saying, Joe Rogan watched my video, but I can't talk to him. It's like, yeah, because we're on different planes. Like, I don't understand that. It's like, respond to him badly. I have a pretty good feeling Asmon doesn't respond to his DMs. Yeah, that's true because I'm a nobody. That's perfectly fine, you know? Beef, that's not beef. He's just saying how he feels he wasn't disrespectful. I'm sure Asmon doesn't respond to anybody. Okay, the guy's legit. He should be much bigger. Great to see him succeed. I should follow him directly. Decoy Voice does a great job. Okay, so I have probably not seen the DMs. Yes, I've been able to talk to an editor from Asmongold's, from his team. Very nice people. Like, probably of the larger streamers, they're some of the nicest ones. Like, there's one other large streamer, like Million Plus, that has talked to me since I've had 1 million subs. I don't want to call him out, I guess. Who knows? Whatever. Maybe he wants me to address him. I don't know. But I've had very large streamers be very, very kind to me, and I've had very large streamers just ignore me. And that's perfectly fine because obviously they don't have time to talk to every peon that wants to say something to them. But it's, yeah. Sour Mash says, Asmon has reacted to a few of your videos and expressed his appreciation of you. Yeah, I have saved on my desktop, Asmongold saying, I fucking love this guy. I said one of my opinions, and he just kept saying good things about me. So I like Asmongold, but it's weird how. Oh yeah, editors wake up. Maybe this is why I was able to get in contact with the editors. And again, this isn't me saying negative things about them and their team. I think it's crazy how. Who was it recently? It was like I saw a drama video of like Sneeko talking about Moist Critical. Oh, he'd come over here and debate me on the Fresh and Fit podcast, and I'm like, that's like me telling Conor McGregor, "You're a coward unless you fight me. We can be in the same weight class. Let's go, Conor McGregor. Where are you? You're scared. And it's like, no, because you guys aren't on the same plane. Like, it doesn't validate you to be angry at someone that is larger than you for not acknowledging you. It's ridiculous. But yes, nowhere Mahoney says, I found Decoy from Asmon, so I'm going to be infinitely grateful that he appreciated my content enough to watch it. But then you see all these fake narratives going around, oh, Decoy Voice beef with Asmon. I mean, maybe that's to my advantage because that's clickbait right there. But the original point was Tim Pool. I kind of feel like there's weird narratives that get spread around him, but I mean, met him in person, nothing but good things to say about him and his team. I think sometimes online narratives just get spun in weird ways. Thank you, Super Korean, watching this stream, and Asmon's open right now. I mean, what is it? I like the idea that when you go to, what is it, Zach Roar? I don't know the lore behind this, because Asmongold hasn't streamed in forever.
I assume that's assuming everybody pays the tariff.
This is like
fully.
Okay, so
stream session.
so,
I'm reacting to
so
him.
This is an important point. I would say
I feel like I need to take notes from someone like this because he's streaming for such a long time. But look at this. Look at this chat. I'm almost glad we only have 300 people right now because nobody can get a word in. Hey, Jeremy says he's found me through Asmond. Yeah, Conor McGregor has some problems right now, but you know what? I'll see until he gets convicted. Because the same thing happened with, what is it? Who's that guy? Russell Brand, who I also like. He had all those allegations about him the first time. They fizzled out. Now there's new allegations, so I don't want to be too sensational. Like, I don't want to give into the sensationalism. If he's serving heavy time for something like Conor McGregor is, and he actually gets convicted because he did something, then I'll react to that. But all the rumors and the whole thing, like what they do with Trump, where it's like, or not Trump, who was a Supreme Court justice? They had something similar to that, where they were like, who's a Supreme Court justice? Where they said, he wasn't, I don't know where this was, I don't know what year this was, I don't know what location it was. Brett Kavanaugh, exactly. But he definitely ordered them at a house party that I can't even identify. Like, stuff like that happens, hits the mainstream because they don't like the person. Conor McGregor is a very polarizing figure. I'm a fan of him and his fighting style, and I'll say, I will wait till the facts come out. I'm not going to respond to the claims and the new sensationalism of that, because in the same way you'll think Decoy Voice has beef with Asmongold, you'll think somebody committed a crime that definitely didn't later on. Yep, exactly. Maybe Sunshine says, cancel culture, when you're over the target, they come after you, and that's how I know when they come after me, when you talk about certain subjects that you're criticizing Tim Pool talking about, or not talking about. When you talk about that stuff, they blow your channel up. It is crazy. You can even say positive things about that. And here's a little bit of insider baseball. I covered a topic. Don't say it in the chat. Just acknowledge it. Say yes if you know what I'm talking about. But I covered a topic about a underground tunnel in New York City. And I covered the sensationalism of it. And then I said, it's not what you think it is. It's this. It's like a very small subset of this group. They're like young kids. The mattress is like, it's all this stuff is like, it's not what they conflate it to be. I talked about it. Boom. My videos went off the deep end. Like, you saw the trajectory. 500. Actually, back in the day, 200K was good for me. 200K, 200K, 200K. Cover that video, even in a positive way, saying it's fake news, guys. Here's what's really happening. Gone. So it's like when they say, oh, he didn't cover it. It's like, yeah, because I would rather be able to give you guys everything and just not go, what do you call it? Not try to make it so you see nothing. You can still cover the topics. Like, you guys know what I'm talking about. I can still cover the topics, but it's never going to be headlined. But then all of a sudden you guys say, oh, they're not covering it because he's part of that thing. It's like, no, you're just being tactical about it. The same way you can still cover Cove back then. Remember I would call it the Cove, or I would call it the shots? You're talking about vaccines. You're talking about vaccine efficiency. You're still talking about the same stuff. You're still communicating the same information to your fans. But if you just straight up said, masking was not effective back in the day, they'd nuke you from orbit. But if you say, hey, guys, how about you listen to your doctors? How about you read the box? You're still talking about the same stuff, but you're not getting banned and nuked out of orbit. There you go. Raven Smallbean says, tactics over explosions. Ned Steeler saying, no, lost me. Any links to look into? No, we're not talking about anything, guys. We're not talking about anything at all. We were talking about how I'm going to start playing Schedule 1. Yeah, no noticing allowed, guys. Okay, cool. Crazy says, I found you from the recap of 2023, posted about on my little channel. I was part of the indie entertainment industry, acting in music, but I had to leave as I refused a jab. So many people I know got cut out of relationships, cut out of friend groups, cut out of jobs because of jab, and now they're being vindicated. It's sad because we lost jobs and we lost friendships, but we also don't have myocarditis. I don't know which one. Decoy, what's your favorite album of all time? All time. I don't know if I have a favorite album. Like, I have favorite artists of all time, and they're all Korean pops. No, I'm kidding. No, we'll see. They took our jabs. That's kind of funny. Still pure blood here, and it's sad because nobody regrets being a pure blood. Isn't that sad? Favorite game audio? Super Mario World on the Super Nintendo, because just like how we have a stronger sense of smell to like the memories, I feel like whenever I hear the Super Mario World soundtrack, it reminds me of being a kid visiting my grandparents out of state, and they had a Super Nintendo. I didn't have any like good game console at home. We would be able to play Super Mario World over there with my extended family. All good memories of hanging out with them, getting McDonald's delivered to us because it's too much to pack up. Like, what is it, like 10 kids in a car to go to McDonald's, come back? So it's like we're just sitting there playing McDonald's, and our family brings us chicken nuggets and Happy Meals home. The whole soundtrack to that is like brings back all those memories. It's great. Well, thank you for that, maybe Sunshine. Indigo Eclipse Star Fox 64 soundtrack is forever stuck in my brain. I wonder how much of this clip I can play, but this is my ultimate like calm down music. Star Fox 64 select. I don't know what this is, but this is very calming to me. How much of this can I play before it gets taken down? I don't know. But yeah, no, this is chill. Do a barrel roll. So we've been going for over an hour now. Unless you guys have a good topic here. I know this is all video gaming now. The Doom series terrified me as a kid. I know my brother enjoyed it, but I remember my brother played Doom 2. I'd watch it. Sometimes I played myself, but I would have nightmares. Not about the demons, but I would have nightmares that my brother was playing Doom 2 in the room when I was sleeping, and that was scaring me. It was like Inception of that. Didn't play much Spyro. 007, yeah, GoldenEye, best soundtrack. The Watch theme, that's a good one too. Left 4 Dead 2 soundtrack? Really? I don't know about that. The beginning of Resident Evil 2 with the flaming truck freaked you out for years. The beginning of Resident Evil 2 where it just has the face where it's like a zombie dead one. As soon as that turned on, I knew I couldn't play it. Too young, too scary for me. Ocarina of Time was good. Wii Sports theme, yeah. We're just talking about music now, so stuff I can't play on YouTube. Maybe if it was on Twitch, but thanks for hanging out as long as you have. We'll do another stream soon. Figure out the cadence. I guess drop a comment when this video stops to tell me what the best time you think would be to do live streams. And if you like seeing the videos later on, like stuff chopped up, we'll see. But thanks for hanging out as long as you did. But for now, duck off.